Forgive yourself for everything. Forgive yourself for staying too long. Forgive yourself for mistakes you made when you didn't know any better. Forgive yourself for missed opportunities. Forgive yourself for words you never said. Forgive yourself for making what you thought were good decisions at the time, but ultimately ended you up somewhere where you weren't supposed to be. Forgive yourself for not trying more. Forgive yourself for anything that makes you feel sad, that makes you regret things, that makes you feel like you sold yourself short, that makes you feel like you ruined your life, that made you feel less than a human being. Forgive yourself of these things, because forgiveness isn't pretending or wishing these things away. Forgiveness is telling yourself the truth, forgiving yourself, and no longer holding on to that guilt, no longer holding on to that regret, no longer holding on to that sorrow, no longer holding on to things that no longer serve you. Because you're a new person each and every day. You're renewed in the mind and spirit and physically. And start living that way. Stop holding on to the past, no matter how bad it was, no matter how unforgiving you think it is. Forgive yourself. And if you believe in God, God forgives you. But if you don't believe in God, still forgive yourself. Understand that you were somebody that was learning. You were someone that was growing in life. You were someone that was meant to experience that lesson, to learn it, and to not repeat it, and to help others who might make that same mistake or have that same shortcoming, how to help them get through that situation. Because we all need mentors. We all need people that we can look up to and learn from. We all need role models. So not all role models are perfect. Some of them made mistakes. They learned from it, and now they're inspiring and teaching others. So forgive yourself. Forgive yourself for things you just didn't know. You didn't know better at certain times. You stayed in that relationship too long, or maybe you left the relationship too early, but that doesn't mean that the next relationship is going to end the same way. Forgive yourself for, like I said, maybe you should have said more things to loved ones that you never got to say, and now you regret it because they're no longer around to hear them. That is unfortunate, but forgive yourself and go forward, telling the loved ones that are still around tell them those words, that you love them or whatever, you care about them, whatever it might be. So stop living with regret. Stop living the same cycles over and over. Forgive yourself so that you're allowed to move on. You're allowed to continue to grow. You're continue to prosper and live life the way you're intended to, versus you're just regretting and thinking for the past 24/7. And you're no longer living in the present. You're no longer bettering yourself for the future and working towards a better tomorrow, because you're holding on to all this baggage. Why do you have all this baggage? You can let it go. You weren't meant to carry that your whole life. You weren't meant to hold on to all those regrets, all those mistakes, and all those bad memories for years and years and years into the rest of your life. No, shed that skin, shed that old baggage, and embrace a new beginning. Tell yourself the truth, forgive yourself, and let go of the guilt. And if there's something that you need to continue to learn, you need to be in rehab, you need to be in a accountability chat with certain people, then do that if it's an ongoing issue. But if it's something that was just something that happened in your past, continue and move forward. Continue and grow. Become bigger and better. Become a better version of you each and every day, and continue forward. So forgiveness isn't something to hide behind. It's not something to pretend that's not there. Like I said, just work on what you need to change, embrace the changes, and go out and make it happen. Go live your life. Stop living your life away, wishing your life away, and go make it happen. This was Consistency Day 405. I hope you got something from this message. If you did, I encourage you to like, share, comment, and subscribe for more. And other than that, I wish you all peace and blessings on the journey.